Well, good evening. How many came this afternoon to the play? There you go. Well, you're in for a treat. You know, Martha Westberg, she is so creative, and I think it was probably about 6 months ago, she brought this idea to me, and I said, "Oh my gosh, yes, write it," because some of this play actually happened to her. So you're going to see some interesting dialogue today in the play that she's written for you tonight. So be prepared.
Michael, am I supposed to start?
Yes.
In the past year of 2020, we could say 30 days past September, April, June, and November, and all the rest have 31, except for March, which had 216. In spite of the many challenges, life goes on at Butterfield. We've been fed once a day, and we're thankful. The highlight of our days has been going to our mailbox and then making contributions to the trash can. Much like Noah's Ark, we went two at a time to the little store and the library. Both the store and the library have a variety of offerings. And at last, we're meeting again in groups, although 6 feet apart.
Good day. I'm Dr. Aaron. What brings you here today?
Well, now that you ask, my wife brought me here, Lois.
Okay, no sense of humor. So do you know where you are and your date of birth?
Well, of course. Where I am, I'm here in this bed, and I was born on my birthday.
All right. Well, the emergency room doctor said that you got a small bite from a garden snake that doesn't need any treatment. But he said that you were slightly dehydrated and would like to keep you overnight. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just tell me, Dr. Aaron, does an apple a day really keep you doctors away?
Only if you're a good aim.
Oh, that's good. You look familiar to me. Have we met before?
Probably so. You look a little familiar to me, too. This is my first job. My second job, I work as the security supervisor at Butterfield. So this job is for the money. Butterfield, it's because of all those ladies. I like that gray hair.
Oh, yeah.
But, all right, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret here. But I kind of have a little crush on Grace Donahoe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're
not
lucky.
good because of her boyfriend, Frank Price.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy's scary.
oh, yeah.
He looked at me once and I wet my pants, and but he actually made a beer cooler into a mobility scooter.
Oh, that's
No
awesome.
normal person does that. And he also, so I've heard, can take pantyhose, raisinets, peanut butter, and an adult diaper and make bombs out of them. So that scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah. Oh, my
So I got to
gosh, yeah.
tread lightly around here, and I have no idea why I even told you that. But anyway, if you don't have any questions, I'll see you in the morning for discharge.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you.
gentlemen.
Good evening.
Oh, hello.
Fergie, I am your nurse, Sherry.
Well, are you an RN?
You bet I am. but don't get any fancy ideas what I might do for you. RN, you know, does not stand for rest in narcotics. Why don't you try rough with needles?
Ooh, ouch, that hurts.
Well, now I tell you, you don't bother me and I won't bother you. But I've got to go now because I've got some sick patients that I need to see right away.
Well, that was a nice meeting, I guess.
Well, if that was the nurse of the day, I hesitate to think what Fergie's care may be. He'll be eager to return to Butterfield. During the isolation, it was difficult to discuss with each other's business thoroughly, but now that residents are allowed to meet in groups of 50, it's almost full steam ahead. Of course, it is not gossip, just a sharing of important information. Well, let's listen to what's important to John, Jim, and Ann.
Yeah, that old uncle of ours, Uncle Fergie, you know, he's been very quiet since he's received that inheritance there, you know. Yeah. But, frankly, I think that guy is loaded.
Me too. Yeah.
Yes, he quickly bought a new car, a Tesla, I believe.
Well, come to think of it, you know, what I'm hearing, they say that he wants a yacht. Now, can you imagine him needing a yacht?
No.
You know, where would he park the thing?
You know, I've always wished that I had enough money to buy an elephant.
Now, Jim, what would you do with an elephant at Butterfield Trail Village?
John, I didn't say I wanted an elephant. I just want enough money to buy one. Yeah. You know, if we did have one out here, though, we could sell rides on it.
Oh, come on. Uncle Fergie now, let's assume that he has more money than he can use. Maybe, just maybe, he will remember us with a little generosity. Surely he will remember the fun we all had as kids.
Well, you better hope that he doesn't remember that you did not like him playing with your boomerang. So you gave him a stick and told him it was a boomerang that wouldn't come back. Oh well.
I didn't particularly like sitting by him at the dinner table because he dribbled his food all the time.
Well, maybe that's because he wanted to grow up to be a basketball player.
He was generous before he got the inheritance. So yes, I believe that we might benefit from his good fortune.
Well, we know he's in the hospital now. So it's an excellent time for us to remind him of our concern for his well-being.
Jim, do you have any jokes that might cheer him up?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of jokes. How about this one? Do you know what E.T.'s mother said to him when he finally got home?
This had better be good.
Where on earth have you been?
Nice try, but maybe not.
Well, Do you know what you get when you cross a snake with a kangaroo?
Just to end this, I will say, what?
Jump rope.
Oh.
Well, did you know that Noah had floodlights on his ark?
Were you there? Come on, Jim. Let's get back to the subject at hand.
Yeah, the last time I was in a hospital, I refused a CAT scan because I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, Jim, you have over-joked us.
Oh, come on. Laughter can make you live longer if you don't criticize the joke teller too much.
Who said we're laughing?
Fergie laughs at my jokes. Well, once in a while. Sometimes, yeah. I just wonder if he's changed his will since he got that big inheritance.
Yes, his will needs to be brought up to date, and I, for one, want to be in it. I think he just needs a reminder of how important we are to him. Now, why is he in the hospital?
He just stepped on one of those little garden snakes.
Well, you know, those are supposedly harmless. But this one was on the aggressive side and bit Uncle Fergie's leg.
Well, the Uncle Fergie felt no ill effects in there, but the emergency room doctor wanted to keep him overnight because he's a little dehydrated and complained about a stomachache. You know, they probably have a quick cure for that.
Well, Ann sure got a quick cure for her anger problems that she used to have. It's hard to believe that our gentle Ann ever had anger problems.
Yes, at one time I had trouble controlling my anger, but I'm cured now. It was simple. Dr. Wrong told me to swish water around in my mouth for 15 minutes when I felt the anger coming on.
That sounds too simple. How did the water help?
Well, the water had nothing to do with it. It was keeping my mouth shut for 15 minutes that cured me.
Well, that sort of sounds like a doctor that I had once. He gave me 4 bottles of pills and told me to take the green pills before breakfast, the blue ones after breakfast, the red ones after lunch, and here's the kicker, and the yellow ones at bedtime.
John, what was all of that supposed to do for you?
He said it was the one way to get me to drink enough water.
That's good. Hey, do you know why the chicken crossed the road?
I don't even want to know.
Well, it was to show the skunks that it can be done.
I knew I didn't want to know.
Back to Uncle Fergie, if he needs blood, we could organize the family to donate it for him. John, what's your blood type?
That's a personal question.
Well, we must go to see him and offer our help.
And to remind him of his family ties.
Now the relatives are crawling out of the woodwork, expecting to profit from Fergie's good fortune. News travels faster than the speed of light in the halls of Butterfield. It's like cutting open a pillow and letting the feathers fly out in the wind. But nothing is more bonding. Grace and Gail and Jean, they're cousins to Fergie, must have caught a feather as they are wasting no time getting to the hospital to remind Fergie how close they've been growing up. They're concerned about Fergie's will and want to be mentioned in it. They have high hopes.
Fergie, we're so sorry that nasty old snake bit you.
Well, you know, when I went to the emergency room after that, I had a long wait in that emergency room. But the fact is, they treat by how high and bad your emergency is. So, in fact, waiting was a good sign.
That's good.
Did they give you medicine for your stomach?
My stomach? Well, what's wrong with my stomach other than it's too big? It's no big deal. I'll go home in the morning. I'm here for minor reasons.
Fergie, there is nothing minor about being in the hospital.
Well, you know, when they said they were going to draw blood, I thought they were going to draw a picture of my blood, you know. I was hoping it'd have royal color and no little germs dancing around. And then here comes the big needle. Gosh.
Now, don't rush going home. There can always be complications, you know. Do you need an appendectomy?
An appendectomy? Why would I need an appendectomy for a snake bite? Surely I didn't sign up for that.
Well, we want to help you all we can. So we came to offer our advice.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were growing up, how we were always there when you had a need? We even gave you our best toys to play with all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember the broken boomerang someone gave me.
Hey, Fergie, do you remember that I was the one that let you ride my bicycle always until you got one for yourself?
I believe we even gave you money when you didn't have any.
Well, now we don't have any, and we hear you have lots. Does that give you any ideas?
I am so poor I can't go to the dollar store because I only have 75 cents in my pocket.
Now, what are you all trying to tell me? I think that you're asking for money.
Fergie, you know, times have been really rough with the pandemic and that. But now that you have been blessed with an inheritance, we thought maybe you could share some.
Have you rewritten your will?
I don't think it's necessary. It is very simple. I expect to leave everything to Lois and to the kids.
Oh, but they've all got jobs and they don't seem to have any special needs.
Surely you wouldn't want to take their independence away from them.
Are the doctors giving you drugs? All medications have side effects, you know.
They do.
Are you maybe dizzy or a little nauseated?
Well, actually, I do feel a little dizzy.
Uh-oh, that could be serious. But don't worry, we are with you all the way, no matter what it is.
Well, Fergie, I hope that you have good insurance. Even one day in the hospital could cost thousands of dollars.
A hospital bed is like a parked taxi with the meter running. It's no place to be sick.
Are you cold? Are you cold?
No, I'm fine.
Well, here's an extra blanket.
Oh, okay.
Let me cover you up.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, no.
Oh, oh my. Oh, gosh. That's enough. Oh.
Did you see any specialists? They cost extra, you know.
You know, that snake probably was sick. You should be very watchful for any strange feelings. I've heard that snakes readily transmit illnesses to humans. I read it on Google.
Oh, my.
Must be true.
Now, we don't want to tire you in your weakened condition. We just wanted to cheer you up and offer some of our suggestions.
Man, I tell you what, I'm beginning to feel a little funny in the head.
Well, I hope we're being a help to you. We can come back in the morning. Absolutely.
Now, don't bother. I am going home. You have already done enough.
Remember, you're not going home till the doctor says so. The doctor that's always not here yet.
Yeah.
And then the computer has to say so too.
Oh, ladies, look, it's
Is it time?
visiting hours are over, so I think we better go now.
Okay.
Goodbye, sweet.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetie. Bye.
Since Fergie's feeling a little dizzy, he presses the call button to the nurse. He hopes she will give him some medicine to help him.
Well, now, what in the world are you calling for me now?
Look, I tell you, I'm feeling a little dizzy, and I don't want to fall out of this bed.
You're just being difficult. Now stop it.
But I need help.
We can't cure stupidity. Stop putting on your call light because nobody has time for that.
Maybe I have relied too much on kind words and pain-relieving medicines.
Well, don't worry. You're not getting any of that here. We are busy, you know.
But I thought you nurses gave tender, loving care.
I don't know what you are talking about. Don't call us unless you have an emergency, like a heart attack or a stroke.
A heart attack or a stroke? Are you kidding me? How can I press the call button if I'm having one of those? You make me laugh.
Well, laughter is not the best medicine. Morphine is.
I don't think it does any good to call you.
Well, don't mess with me. Remember, I'm the one who keeps the doctors from doing you harm.
I may need to call my doctor.
Why would you want to call a doctor? I'm here. I know everything that's going on.
Well, just don't bother about me. Just go on lecturing all of the other patients. I will suffer in silence.
Maybe you're smarter than I thought you were.
The residents of Butterfield agree that March 2020 lasted 3 years, but now April's going like a fast-moving train. It's not easy to recognize everyone with their natural hair color and with makeup. Now John, Jim, and Ann care about their Uncle Fergie, but they can't keep from dwelling on how much he might do for them with his huge inheritance. They've discussed it and think it's time to have a heart-to-heart talk with him.
Uncle Fergie, dear old Uncle Fergie. You know, we're so sorry to hear about that emergency you had in the garden. You know, we've rushed right over here to make sure that you're not alone. You know, we will never leave you alone.
We're visiting you because we want to be sure that they are giving you all the care that you need. Even medical people make mistakes sometimes. We want to make sure that does not happen to you.
It might be wise to get a second opinion.
We intend to do everything we can to keep you safe and healthy. That's what family is all about. Watching out for each other's best interest. By the way, do you exercise?
Ann tries to help me keep in good shape, Fergie. One time she even asked me to jump over the kitchen table just to see if I could still do it.
You had to get a running start, but you made it.
Look, I only want to walk out of here. I'm beginning to feel just a little weak.
You must not overlook anything. You're our favorite uncle, and we intend to protect you and be part of your healing.
Look, there is nothing you can do. I'll go home in the morning.
You must not go home too quickly now, because that would lead to a relapse.
You must have signed just a slew of papers just to get in here. Did you read the fine print on all of those forms?
Well, that you mention it, no. There was so much of it. Is it really important to know what it says?
Yes, Jim. What's in that fine print that we should know about?
I really don't know. I don't think anybody's ever read all of them, and I haven't read many myself. But I've always been suspicious of what they're trying to hide in all that fine print.
Uncle Fergie, did you tell them who your dentist is?
No. Why would they need to know that?
Oh, you know, sometimes they get the patients mixed up, and they need your dental records for identification. It has happened. And you should always tell more than one nurse or doctor, because they never communicate with each other.
Are they keeping you here for observation? You know, that could mean most anything. You might end up being here for a full month.
Do you really think they're not telling me the whole story about the snake bite? And what should I do about it?
Of course. They just don't want to worry you. That would only worsen your condition.
Oh, man.
And we don't want to worry you either. You are brave in emergencies such as this. It runs in the family. Remember Grandpa Clarence, who had that weird disease no one could name? Of course, he died from it later, but he was brave. I brought you this Christmas sweater to cheer you up.
This looks just like the sweater Lois and I gave you last Christmas.
Oh dear, my memory is not so good. Well, I guess I wore the good out of it and just wanted to share the rest of it with you.
Did they take x-rays of your leg? It's a possibility that when you stepped on that snake and tried to get away from it, you could have fractured your leg.
Wow.
Never, ever lie to an x-ray technician. They can see right through you.
No, but they weighed me, and I've lost a little weight.
Don't worry if you can't eat hospital food. Just take some prenatal vitamins and you'll be fine.
Yeah. There's an email going around about processed pork, gelatin, and salt. It's an email, but don't open it. Whatever you do, it's spam.
Oh, Jim.
I was at the park the other day, and this bunch of youngsters was throwing this frisbee around. And the frisbee just kept getting bigger, and I couldn't figure it out. Finally, it hit me.
And you can keep Jim quiet. Maybe we could get back to helping Fergie.
Okay, one more joke and then we're going home.
Now listen, just make it a good one, Jim.
I'll try, Fergie. I'll try. By the way, did they give you an eye test when you came in here?
Well, no. And now that you mention it, I'm beginning to see a little blurriness.
Uh-oh. That could be bad news. When I saw spots before my eyes, they prescribed me new eyeglasses.
Whoa. Did that help?
Yep, it sure did. Now I can see the spots much more clearly.
Now, Fergie, don't worry about it, but be sure to ask if you would need any physical therapy when you go home.
Now, many patients have to prove they are ready to leave the hospital. Can you move from the bed to a chair?
They haven't even checked to see if I can walk.
That is a sign of neglect for sure.
Yeah.
I think we should talk to the doctors there. You know, we can't let them let you out too soon. If you need someone to sit with you when you get home, we will take turns.
You probably won't get any sleep tonight. Hospitals are noisy. And if you do go to sleep, they will wake you up to take your vitals.
Oh, my vitals.
Another thing to be careful about, be sure to get a clear printed list of all the medications you're going to have to take when you get home. Do you know if you're going to have to wear a heart monitor when you leave?
What, just wait a darn minute. A heart monitor? Why?
Well, no, Ferg, we don't want to worry you, but did the nurses and doctors wash their hands every time they came into your room? That white coat brushing across your bed can easily transfer germs from that coughing patient across the hall from you.
What are you saying, Jim? There is a coughing patient across the hall from me?
There certainly is. By the way, is Aunt Lois going to be able to spend the night with you tonight? You know, in case you get confused or need some help getting to the bathroom, or if perhaps your breathing patterns change.
What? My breathing pattern? What are you talking about?
Yes. How much have you walked today? Walking helps prevent blood clots.
Fergie, have you changed your will since you got that big inheritance? You know, family needs have increased. Take me for example. I've been so honest with you throughout all these years. Surely you know about my suffering from lack of funds.
I think you should put some money where it is needed most. If you can't use it all, it's just wasted. Lois and the children do not seem to have any urgent needs.
I thank you for caring so much about my business.
Fergie, I think we'll leave for now, but we will be back in the morning.
Oh, man, I tell you what, I'm feeling breathless. I'm going to call the nurse. I may need some medicine or a heart transplant or something.
With a baffling nurse and relatives trying to push him into decisions, Fergie's brain is whirling so fast he can't get his breath. So, of course, he calls the nurse. Some patients never learn.
Now what is wrong? You must think I have nothing to do but come and listen to your complaints. What have you dreamed up this time? I can hardly wait.
I thank you for caring so much about my business.
Now you are being dramatic. Just stop it. This is not Hollywood. There are no Golden Globe Awards. We do not give out Academy Awards for the Best Actor. We just deal in reality. And I just don't have time for those fairy tales of yours.
You must be the wicked fairy.
You should remember who you are talking to here. Nurses are the one who keeps the doctors from doing you harm. But I get to choose the needles.
Man, I tell you, I am feeling quite ill.
Well, why don't you call me when you're getting better?
Gosh, that was some kind of visit.
Is it any surprise that the next time they took Fergie's vitals, the doctors ordered another night in the hospital for observation? This gives Dorothy and Ardith time to make their visit to Fergie. They're always seeking funds for the good of the community. And what better person to ask than a man with a recent inheritance and one in the hospital with low resistance? Meanwhile, Fergie's letting the power of suggestion get the best of his mind. Much like McDonald's drive-through window, you know, when they ask, "Would you like apple pie to complete your order today?"
Mr. Fergie, we are so sorry to hear that and see you here in the hospital. You know, hospitals just aren't what they used to be.
There are many newfangled tests, but are we seeing that many cures?
I tell you, I'm beginning to wonder about all that, but I think the snake bite was harmless. I didn't hear a rattle.
No animal bite is harmless, and there are no such thing as harmless snakes. How can they be sure it was harmless? What does it look like?
Well, as the best I can remember, it just looked like a little piece of angry rope.
Oh, that's probably the worst kind.
Now, Fergie, have you heard about the latest needs at Butterfield Trail Village? That's where all of us live, and any contribution to the Village Foundation would benefit all of us.
I never like to see money sitting idle. It just needs to be used.
You know, a giver is especially blessed. It's good for your health and mental stability And frankly, you look like you could use that kind of help.
Dorothy, shall I tell him?
Yeah, tell him.
All right. Fergie, we have heard from the Butterfield grapevine that you have inherited a sizable amount of money. Now, you know, we don't always believe everything we hear. We know you're a very generous person, and we know that you would like to be happy to donate some extra funds to the Butterfield Foundation. We just know that.
We're thinking of your well-being by only talking about money. We ask all others to do a 5-mile run for charity.
I don't understand. Why do all my visitors talk about money?
Oh, so you've had other visitors today?
Yes, too many. I wish I could be quarantined.
Oh, don't make a wish like that. Quentin might quarantine you for 14 days due to your symptoms just to protect the village.
Look, I am tired. I need a nap. Could we just save this talk for another time?
Oh, of course. So, all right, we'll do that. But here's what I'd like. Here's what I'd like you to do, Fergie. I'd like you to make a list of the things that we can do for you, and then make a list of what you can do for the foundation. Be sure you sign and notarize it. All right. Yes. Shall we go?
Fergie, happy dreams.
Happy dreams.
Okay. Bye now. Thank you for coming. Look, what in the world kept you so long? I thought you would never get here.
Your call was ignored and the order received.
Well, it shouldn't take all day.
Just wait till you see what I write on your chart. How in the world did you get in here in the first place? I can think of other places that would be better for you and us.
You don't often show that kind of care.
Look, this is my zoo, and you are all my monkeys. Despite what this chart says, I only intend to feed you and keep you in your tree.
Well, let me tell you, this is one monkey who does not feel safe here.
You're being difficult again. Would you like some music to go with those whines?
What I'd like would be someone to protect me.
Stop being a sissy. There's no monster under your bed. You're not being poisoned. And there's not a boogeyman in the closet.
Oh, they would be more pleasant and helpful than you.
Brave words for a sick monkey. Now, don't call me anymore tonight unless you have a real emergency. Good night, Fergie.
Well, good night. I guess that was all.
Well, the residents are glad to escape the restrictions of the recent past. For the year 2020, they forgot masks instead of phone and keys. And many learned whether they had a green thumb or not. Some even seemed destined to kill air ferns, no matter how they tried to keep them alive. A few wanted to open their potential, but that was just another key to lose. Now they can focus on making memories big and small, but even now, any concerns they have grow bigger at night. This is a night at Butterfield Trail Village.
Dorothy, you're scaring the wits out of me, knocking on my door like that. What's the matter?
I saw some snakes in the hall, and I think there's a bunch of snakes in the hall, and I just wanted to make sure you knew just exactly what was going on around you.
Well, thank you for
I'm going to get a gun permit first thing in the morning.
You wouldn't do that any good. You wouldn't know what to do with the gun.
Oh, I can learn fast if there's a snake in my living room.
Yes.
Why didn't you call the police, Dorothy?
No. She needs to call the animal control.
Oh, well, yeah, we all know snakes are dangerous, so we've got to be watchful.
Well,
Good.
Fergie's snake was just a harmless garden snake.
It was snake enough to put him in the hospital.
Right.
And look at how his condition is deteriorated since
Terrible.
then.
Listen, do you hear those noises?
Oh.
It's getting louder. It's getting louder.
Oh, the snakes are all over us.
We're under attack.
Yeah,
I hear it. Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
Whatever it is, it's going to crash into us.
I think it's an animal attack.
Oh no, it's probably been snakes that attack.
Oh, well.
Oh my gosh.
What shall we do?
I don't know. What can we do?
We can call Quentin. That's what we'll do.
No, we need to go to the basement.
We don't have a basement. Let's go to the laundry room. It's safe.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Our residents are getting nervous. The noise was only the garbage truck. Now, let's forget this foolishness talk and get down to the truth of the situation. For one thing, Fergie's inheritance is only $10,000, and he borrowed money to buy a new car. How disappointing. Fergie did finally get out of the hospital, and his dear relatives gave him a welcome home picnic to celebrate and remind him of the care for him. However, they neglected to notice that they were celebrating in a big patch of poison ivy. All except Fergie, and had complicated cases of results, and they are in the hospital.
Well, it might be a rash decision, but I'm going to send them home in the morning.
Perhaps not. I'll visit them today.
I'm Martha Westberg. Thank you for coming to our play. We enjoyed preparing it for you and hope you have been entertained by our efforts. We wish you good health and more happy moments. And please join us in the lobby for refreshments.